This is Scribe from Rising Phoenix, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. We ask you please to keep all arms and legs in the vehicle at all times, because we will not be liable for any loss of limb or life from approaching rancors. Take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The data mine shows that there is a new character bundle coming.
Is it a marquee or is the bundle for Galactic Legends?
We will discuss in our opening segment.
And we will also talk about SWGOH.GG's new meta report.
And the new features that we want to see from Sep and his new toys.
We break down another special that we posted and condense it for you in our TEPC Spotlight.
That is correct. We talk to Taliana Reese about her data tracking and how you can help.
But of course, after the show, check out the full interview on our YouTube page.
Gridan, the master of the grid stick, joins us for our incoming transmission.
And Neil gets to ask about a GAC competition that Gridan came up with.
We want to get the idea out there and encourage everyone who wants to participate to do so.
And on the bridge, we will do Patreon's Choice and talk about the upcoming 24-hour streams that are on our horizon.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, Neil Andrew, and as always, I am joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you doing today?
It's a day. It's been a long day.
It's a day. A long weekend. You have a long weekend. You know, they don't come very often, but it's nice when they do come along.
I do want to recognize Mini Nev staying up to watch you.
Oh my goodness, Mini Nev is in the house. Hello, sweetheart.
And also, thank you to Dr. Feelgood and thank you to Geek Girl 1980 for the subs even before we began.
Don't get in trouble, sweetheart. You know you'll get in trouble for staying up this late. Don't get in trouble now.
So, we are, it has been a slow news week.
It has, yeah. It's been a very slow news week.
One thing that is going on right now, thanks to Twitch, we do want to make aware for all the people that are watching this live, if you are not a sub or you have not been a sub before, you can now do what Twitch is calling Subtember, where you can subscribe for multiple months at a discount. And it still supports the channel the same way as otherwise. Mm-hmm. So, pretty fun. Thank you to Twitch for extending that to us as an affiliate. We do really appreciate that.
All bonuses are appreciated.
How has your GAC been going, Neil? How was week one, if for those who don't watch GA Center?
Flawless victory, triple crown. Flawless victories, 2 flawless victories. So I haven't lost a round, and I haven't lost a battle. So yeah, I'm on for a triple crown. Round 3, triple crown. So I'm looking forward to this. If I hit it, it'll be back-to-back triple crowns. There is one obstacle in my way, and that is a very well relicked General Grievous Separatist team. So I'm still confident that I'll beat it and that I will win the round, because my opponent did pretty much the same as me. He went for a mediocre defense. I went for a mediocre defense, and he's put like one decent team on defense, which is rough. Usually what I do. So hopefully I'll be able to get past his GG team. Fingers crossed. I'll get past it in one go. And fingers crossed he has not put his negotiator on defense. So yeah, really, really hoping for it. It's only a 6-star negotiator, but he does have like Relic Danikin, and he's got Relic GG, and I can beat it with my MILF, but sometimes the RNG gods just, slap you in the face. So yeah.
I mean, how have you been feeling about this whole thank you for the follow, A Dowling. How have you been feeling about GAC lately? Is it getting boring?
No, it doesn't. GAC never gets boring. GAC never gets boring, especially when you have shows like GA Center floating around.
Right.
GA is it's the best PvP, and in my opinion, the best feature in the game because it's PvP. It's as simple as that. It is the most streamed content. When it comes to territory battles and heroic Sith runs and stuff like that, there's not a huge amount of people that stream that. But when GAC is on and the offense is on, streamers literally come out of the woodwork. There's just dozens and dozens and dozens of them, because not only is it fun to play, it's fun to stream. Because people will always go and watch a random content creator streaming GAC just for the fun of it.
Okay. Well, to me, GAC it's not fun to me, because I have a roster that's built for territory battles, not for PvP. My roster is built for PvE. You want a real challenge, Neil? Get Kyber with my roster. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I could get Kyber with your roster. Dude, you've seen what I can do with varying degrees of rosters. I got back-to-back quad Kyber, okay? I've had back-to-back quad Kyber. Granted, I've never competed in Division 1, but I will be competing in Division 1 soon. So I haven't competed in Division 1 yet, but know what squads do and at what levels you do things at. And I mean, hey, so doesn't hurt what SWGOH.GG have brought out this week, does it?
We're definitely gonna get to that. And also, Hellenix says they need to reorder the divisions, so the lowest division is Division 1. That way that they can add new brackets. But what does he know? Mm-hmm. First off, what does Hellenix know?
I mean, what does Hellenix know?
But no, it's funny he mentions that, because coming up in our second segment, we answer the age-old question with data, as they said, is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes dying, and kind of highlight an issue that a lot of people are starting to be up in arms about, and that is the Division 1. Is bloat the right word?
Yeah, it's the biggest bone of contention. It's the only thing. I mean, I would argue that the Division 1 bracket is probably the one major bone of contention for everybody that competes. But it's not just not only do they need to break down Division 1, but the logarithm needs to be changed once the breakdown has occurred. And what I mean by that is that they need to create a whole new, an elite, either they need to break it down or just create a parallel running GAC, throw together Division 1 and Division 2, leave all of the other divisions in GAC as it stands and keep the brackets like that, keep the logarithm like that, squish together 2 and what the players in 2 and 1, because that's where the majority of the player base is now. And then create a bunch of new divisions from, it doesn't necessarily have to go from 11 to 1, but, maybe 8 to 1 or 9 to 1, or do it in reverse order like Hellenix suggests, so that they can keep adding it on at the end. So as the GP growth kicks in, they can add a new division. So And then they can change the logarithm. So instead of everybody being the top 80, they can then start it again. They'll base the logarithm off the top 40, and then the top 45, and then the top 50, and so on and so forth. So it's not the top 80. If they put it this way, if they maintained the exact same logarithm and just captured the top 80, but split it up into divisions, it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. What they need to do is take the tip of, the tippy top of people's rosters and incorporate that. And then it doesn't take into consideration any of the fluff underneath. I mean, you're still going to use the fluff underneath, but it would make matches more even when you take into consideration how many relics people have these days. It really, really would. And it would stop those matchups where one person's got 26 relic characters and another person's got 16 relic characters. It would stop massive. Okay. It would stop massive parity. It would stop massive parodies.
When you're a person with 16 relic characters and you face somebody with 26 relic characters, it sucks because you've got those 20s. You've got that focus of getting relics, and their defense becomes mostly relics. And if you are someone like me who built for territory battles and PvE, then you run into the fact that you've got all these 7-star characters, you have all these gear 9 characters, and then when you went for a new character, you focused down your roster and went after that. I'm starting to do it a little bit. I took Mandalorian to gear 13 just this morning. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm now building counters on my account for PvP because I run into that so much, and it's just so discouraging, Neil. Every single time I log in and I go, I've got to deal with that. Oh, I've got to deal with that. You every once in a while go, as you said, just in the open of the show, you go, this person put down this GG Nukem team. I'm worried about not getting a triple crown. Well, I'm going, this person put down Slacker and Padme, and they also put their Grievous out there, and I usually use CLS or gas as a counter to both of those teams, and now I'm screwed.
Yeah, speak to Indigo. Indigo got a triple last week. He came up against double GLs. There are people in GA, there are people we cover in GA Center that regularly face double GLs, and they beat double GLs. Look, Zareth got 3-0. 3-0 this week, right? He put his Darth Revan and his GLs on defense. He still got 3-0. I'm trying to think. There was somebody else that did that. Who else did that? Not in.
But
it's either Klessa or Indigo. But there were several people.
Neil, you have put me on a diet to where I'm not putting anything that I have relic on defense.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're telling me to look at Zareth, who put his.
No, I'm not saying look at them. You said that, I've got this problem and that problem. That if you were playing tactics similar to Zareth and going for a hard defense and playing strategically a strategic offense to go for the win, that's an option. Now, the option that, the easier version that I suggested to you was go on a lighter defense, keeping all of your meta teams so that no matter what you face against your opponent, you have, either a good counter or a meta counter to clear their board. And you have done that. You've just, you've not got the wins because you've not been as efficient with the banners, and your efficiency will come. You're getting the full clears, and your efficiency will come in time. Your efficiency will come in time, and you'll get more 2-1s and more 3-0s, and you'll get less of these 1 and 2s. You will get there. You just, you cannot all of a sudden become the most efficient, 6.5 mil GP player overnight. Okay, and you're not the only person that's in that GP bracket. I mean, look at poor Mandy, for goodness sake. Mandy's having an absolute nightmare of a time at the moment, and he's the highest GP competitor that we cover, and he's having an absolute nightmare. He's getting 1 and 2s and 2 and 1s. I can't remember the last time he got a 3 and 0.
And I'm gonna mention this. Mandy's a big territory battle guy as well. So you've got the people that are territory battle people that struggle in GAC. It would be nice to taste Kyber just once. So I have that. But, I'm glad that Hellenix, and I'm glad that Schnarman, and I'm glad that Rayrock and all of the guys in the live Twitch chat right now are saying, I could do it, and they are encouraging me. But
practice makes perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, Wise One Games.
Yeah, Zareth is a savant.
That's very, very true. All right, let's get to some of the news at hand. I mean, essentially, we got one blurb, if you will, out of the
data mine.
Out of the data mine thing. We have inside the Discord server that we have an announcement channel where we were told yesterday at about 28 hours ago that there is a new character bundle 14. That's the title of it at this time. New character bundle 14 that says that essentially I have a feeling, and I look forward to hearing what you do. You already know, or what you're going to say. You already know that I think that there are more Mandalorian characters coming to this game. And that's
what they should be doing.
And I think that they are going to be putting out either a older Fulcrum, or they're going to put out a Bo-Katan. We already know of these characters, a lot like we knew that the characters were coming to the game from Rogue One. We knew of Cassian. We knew of Bodhi Rook. He's now Zetaed. We knew of Pow and all those. So those characters we knew about because they introduced us to them and then put the characters inside Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Thank you, by the way, to Dr. Jojo for your 3 months at Tier 2. Thank you for the subscribe.
Now that we've got the GLs coming, I'm probably more inclined to think that they're going to present the player base with characters that are going to be required for the new GLs. That's just the way I see it going. That's what happened. That's what happened with regarding Slacker and Ray. They brought in marquee characters that they then said, they had to be farmed, they had to be geared to a certain level, and then they had to be relicked in order to achieve, Slacker and Ray. So right. I think that is probably what is more inclined to happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that there's going to be some characters coming out that will definitely be good for it. For example, I think that one of the marquee characters, and it's a character that I've been saying is going to come to the game since last year, and that's a veteran Lando. I think that they'll bring in a veteran Lando, and that veteran Lando is going to need to be relicked and buffed immediately.
What does the IG-11, what does the IG-86 mean? Because I don't think we're getting Queel. I don't think we're getting IG-11. They are past. They have left this mortal coil. They are no more. They cease to be.
No, I still think we'll get the outstanding 2 characters. I do think that we'll get the outstanding 2 characters, IG-11 and Queel. It makes sense for them to throw those so that we have a Mandalorian team of 5 for whatever future legendary event that they come out with. Hopefully,
Bo and Ahsoka.
Huh?
Bo and Ahsoka. That's going to be the 5 with Cara, Greef, and Mando.
So I think that I think that the bulk of the I do think that the emphasis is going to be on placed on the sequel trilogy characters that they release through Marquee. That will be a requirement for GL Luke, for Snake Plissken, and for Clone Palpatine.
Okay. I'm also going to mention, a lot of people have said when I kind of tipped my hand and said, this is what I think, instead of saving it for the show. A lot of people have said that they would be stupid to put out a legendary character for a first run at the same time of putting out Galactic Legends.
No, it makes perfect financial sense.
It does make perfect financial sense. Plus, if you remember, during the lead up to the first set of Galactic Legends, there was nothing. Do you remember those episodes? We had rarely anything to talk about because it was all secrecy, Q&A, itty bitty road ahead, or State of the Galaxy, secrecy. Oh, here's a Vader rework to appease you. And, it took so long. Now, yes, we were supposed to get more information. They said they were going to release it every 2 weeks. I don't see anything on the forums. I haven't seen anybody post that, hey, there's something on the forums in the chat. I haven't seen my little RSS feeds, pop.
No,
but
a legendary makes financial sense because CG knows that there are going to be people that haven't bothered with the old GLs and that are not going to. So they're looking at those people that spend but aren't going to spend on GLs and think, well, if we need to put something in the game to get that cheddar from those people that aren't going to spend on GLs. So if they put a legendary out there and say, right, okay, so here's a legendary, here is here's Moff Gideon, or here's Yoda, and you need to do X, Y, and Z on X amount of characters in order to do that, people would be prepared that normally spend a few $100 here and there to spend that few $100 on that aren't prepared to spend that few $100 going towards a GL. So I think that I think that they'll, for the small whale high-end dolphin, that they'll bring something, they'll release a Mandalorian legendary event, because they know that there are people that want to spend, they just don't want to spend on GLs. So it would make financial sense for CG and EA to put out a legendary before the GLs, because there's going to be people that are now spending to get the characters ready for the GLs that will also spend on a legendary, but there will be people that will only spend on a Mandalorian legendary event that won't be spending on the GLs. So I think it does make financial sense to throw out 2 more marquee characters to give us 5 Mandalorian characters for a legendary event, well as sequel trilogy characters like Veteran Lando that people will then need to go over the top on in order to prepare for, Snake Plissken and Clone Palpatine.
They already have some characters that people are going to have to go for. And yes, it is true. You probably will be getting a light side sequel trilogy character out of this bundle if it is not a Mandalorian. We are behind our schedule because we have to hit a specific time for our incoming transmission, and we have the recorded cut down version of our special that we're going to air as well. But really quick, ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to announce, if you have not already seen it, that SWGOH.GG and has put out a new feature. Thank you, Sep, for entrusting us with kind of hinting people towards this. There is now a meta report for Grand Arena Championships on SWGOH.GG. Do you want to explain a little more, Neil?
Yeah, basically, they've got two features up at the moment, and that is a squad meta. So basically, it'll tell you what the success rate is as a percentage for squads on offense and squads on defense. I mean, the number ones, you will be very surprised when you see what the number one successful squad is in GAC. It's got 95% success rate. And you'll be surprised when you see it. But basically, it goes through all of the squads and it tells you what the percentage success rate for that squad on offense is. And then there's another section.
Go ahead. Spoil it for them for that number one, because there's a few others that are really interesting.
Well, the number one, the most successful squad to take into offense is Padme squad with Qui-Gon Jinn. There are 3 Padme squads in the top 10, changing that 5th character. So it's the standard makeup: Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka, GK, and then it goes from the top. The most successful Padme squad is with Qui-Gon Jinn in. The next most successful Padme squad is the one with Barriss in, and the next most successful squad with the next most successful Padme squad is with C-3PO in. Which makes me happy because I've been working on Qui-Gon Jinn, so I'm happy.
And just to be clear, this is the most successful squad that has been taken in on offense. It doesn't specifically say where.
It doesn't specify the squad it goes up against. It just says that 95% of the time in Season 10, what they refer to as Season 10, has garnered a 95% success rate. So if you were to take that squad in against what you know roughly is going to be, a comparable defense that you're probably going to beat, you have a 95% chance of success. That doesn't mean you take that squad in against a slacker, full strength slacker, or a full strength GL Ray. But that Padme team is not a one-shot counter to those teams. It's talking about, your Revans, your Gasses, your Shakti clones, your Jedi Knight Revan. It's talking about other comparable teams, not GL teams.
Yeah. And also they do have, and this is what I really liked, they also have defensive and how well they do. So go out and check out SWGOH.GG for more information on that. You guys are going to love it. Neil, we've got to get to the break.
Yep.
So the whole break ends in time for our guest Gridan. But coming up in just a moment, the TEPC spotlight of a very, very stat-driven mind. You're going to find out whether or not SWGOH is actually dying. Spoiler alert, it's not. Right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Podcast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is MacLeod, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know MacLeod Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, MacLeod will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. MacLeod has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact MacLeod today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MacLeodmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse MacLeod Modding Mayhem, and you will too. MacLeod Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message, and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Have you been interested in getting items 3D printed but haven't wanted to buy one of those expensive printers? Are you looking for a literally one-of-a-kind tech gift gadget? Evil Genius 3D Printing and Gadgets is your one-stop shop for both of those items. Nerd-owned and Escape Pod approved, put Lenny the Evil Genius to work for you. If you can dream it, he could possibly make it. Contact Lenny at evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com for more information. That's evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com. Get something unique in your hands.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Bobo. Hey, I'm Ando. Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer of Death.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan Z here.
I am Mr. Jacobachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of the Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We're a group of streamers who
stream our Grand Arena on Twitch
and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
The Escape Pod Cast.
What you're about to listen to on the Escape Podcast or watch on YouTube or Twitch is an edited version of the Tepsi Spotlight we recorded on Wednesday of this week with Taliana Reese of Reddit and Discord. She loves her numbers like Paul and had some speculation on the age-old question, is Galaxy of Heroes dying? Some may be very interested in what the numbers say, and we present to you an abridged version of our interview with the full interview available on our YouTube page. Just search for the Escape Pod Cast. Now we present to you Tepsi Spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another TEPC Spotlight that we decided to throw together after a... I'm going to call out the person that introduced us, Taliana. Nightmare is a avid reader of the forums, and he posted the Reddit post that we're going to be talking about, that you see some of the images from just over to, I believe, that side, right, Neil?
Yes, they're on that side. Yeah.
Okay, they're on that side. Ladies and gentlemen, a numbers mastermind who is also part of the 50 Shards of Cam initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Taliana Reese, also known as just simply Taliana. How are you, Taliana?
I'm doing well, thanks. It's fun to be here.
So, what was brought to our mind 8 months ago? Or what was brought to our attention 8 months ago was that you had posted a post called "Is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Dead Now with Data?" And it was wonderful color-coded data. So you showed October, November, and December joins and participation.
I'm going to stop you right there for just a moment. It doesn't actually show joins. That's what's valuable about this data. Anybody who logs in to the Star Wars server who's over level 85 is represented in this data. They don't have to join GAC, and that's what's actually especially neat about this. Anybody who logs in once the GAC season opens is given a GAC rank and division. Then the weekly GAs are what you join. So everybody who logs in gets captured here. And that's actually where we originally started here, was realizing they kept giving us very hand-wavy numbers. This was about when relics were introduced. And they kept giving us these very hand-wavy numbers about how many people were getting involved with relics and engagement. And it was really hard to get any hard numbers about who actually played this game. And I realized looking at this data that since everybody who logs in gets a number, and in those first few days, everybody's in the same league within their division, we caught everybody over level 85 represented by a rank. So if we could try to figure out how many people were in each division, we could figure out how many people were logging in and get a size of the player base.
No, I get that, because I noticed from the earlier months that there were nobody in the lower divisions, and the easiest explanation of that is no hyperdrive bundle.
Well, no, the easiest explanation for that is actually that it was a somewhat casual data acquisition back then. It hadn't become quite a big project. And so I was just kind of asking people on Discord servers, hey, who do you see? And it's very hard to find people who can see those lower divisions unless they're looking for them.
Oh, God, yeah. No, it is not easy finding people in divisions 9,
10 and 11.
It is
and
really difficult.
We've gotten better data as I've sort of gathered people in this project who are really interested in it. And so there are people who have alts who have sort of get a kick out of coming in and sharing their data from their alts or from other accounts they can see or allies they've gained. And so that's where we've gotten those lower divisions more represented. But yeah, the original point of this is, can we figure out how many people are logging in? And then we're doing this by division, so we could say something about the relative size of the divisions, because there was a lot of debate about that back then as well.
So,
and then we just kept doing it.
So how do you? So you're saying that you've crowdsourced this data. What exactly? What exact methods do you use to get this information?
I ask people for help. I ask lots of people for help, and then some people help. And
but what do they have to do? What's the
all they have to do? So what I ask people to do at a minimal level is, if you go into your leaderboard for GAC, you'll see 3 tabs. There's a global leaderboard, then there's a guild leaderboard, and an allies leaderboard. And so you can take a look across your guild at what rank everybody is. And you can take a look across your allies and see what rank everybody is. And so that gives you access right there to about 100 people, more or less, right? For each person who can enter data. We noticed, just to make it easier, that for some reason, because of the way they do their ranking, if you go to the first person with a 0 for 0 banners and click on them, so if you have like 10 allies who are in Division 1, the top of your list who has 0 banners will be the lowest ranked. So you could just click on them and enter your number into a Google form. And that Google form will populate a spreadsheet that I can see. Somewhere around April, one of the people in the HSTR project realized that you can also get an extra 100 data points from each person if they're willing to go through their arena ranks and their fleet ranks and just click on the people in their shard in the top 50 ranks. And so at that point, one person can access the ranks for 200 players. And
so you're literally just needing data from, a handful of people per shard.
Yeah. And so we have usually around 15, 20 people probably who do this, and they do it to more or less extent. If you do it right away, then you get a rank early on. So as people join, they start populating these ranks, and the divisions start getting bigger. Then the first GA happens. People join it. People set their defenses. Now, if you join a GA, then as soon as the defense period ends, you have, if you're in Division 1, 730 banners. And that means anybody who didn't join GA gets pushed to the bottom of the list with 0 banners. So that pushes them closer to the edge of the size of the division. And so what we do is people will sometimes enter this data like once a day or twice a day over the course of the first 3 or 4 days of GAC. And so we can watch the size of the division and watch the data points get bigger, and then take a look at whether we're converging on a particular bottom for a division. That can give us a sense of the quality of the data that we have for that given division. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So how does the spreadsheet capture promotions then? Or are you using the same people to collect the same data month in, month out?
So you don't have to worry. I mean, we just basically start a new sheet every month.
Right. Okay.
So every month we have a new sheet, and we just say, okay, this one was the December. This was the December GAC. This is the January GAC. This is the February GAC. People come in or people go out. We don't try to necessarily keep the same people every time. Just whoever we can get it from. I go and I post it in enough places that I bet people are tired of me. I post it on probably eight or so Discord servers.
Including our friends Operation Metaverse, HSTR project.
Clash's Scoundrels. The HSTR project has actually been really, really valuable in terms of helping me figure out how to collect this data. The first month I did this, I basically just went on Discord servers and said, hey, can you DM me if you have any people who are higher than this number? And they were like, well, why don't you do a Google form? And I was like, Google form? What's that? And so, that really turns out to be a much better way to crowdsource data collection than having people DM you things.
Do you do data for a living?
No, I don't. Actually, I just think it's fun.
So when you first started this, what was the ultimate goal? I mean, what was your end game? What were you specifically looking for? Or were you just looking to see, I'm just curious what the numbers are?
I was just curious to see what the numbers were. I was like, hey, here's a cool thing we can do. Why don't we do it? And then let's see what comes out of it.
You did it because you could.
At the time, part of it really was, there was this huge sense every week there would be another post on Reddit, or there'd be another argument on the Discords about how everybody was quitting the game and it was going down the tubes and nobody should play it anymore. And there's this just doom and gloom thing going on. And so after a couple of months, I was able to say, relics did not kill this game. Gas did not kill this game. GLs did not kill this game. We still have the same number of people logging in 8 months later, 10 months later, as we did at the beginning of this.
Do you have the numbers regarding the people that are providing you with data? Because obviously you've got some tables and you've got some charts regarding the numbers that are being collected on the various different forms that are being filled out. But do you have hard numbers for those people that are actually filling out that data as well? Because could it be that the reason why the last 3 months for Division 2 have dropped because the number of people providing you with data has dropped, or has that been consistent throughout every single month?
It's been approximately consistent for the last 4 or 5 months in terms of the number of data points that we have. And, it's also a little hard to say. It's also an interesting thing because one person providing data may have access to their guild and allies and fleet shards, or they may have access to theirs plus 7 alts. So I have people who have a number of alts who will go through theirs and go through their alts as well. And I will sometimes have people who just do their guilds and ally lists because it's the fastest and easiest. Other people will go through their shards. In my house, we have my account, my husband's account, and my kid's account. And what's really fun on that is, when we started doing this, my kids were in Division 6. And they're now in Division 2. Because of bloat and the compaction of so many players into those higher divisions. It's something like 30% of players are now either Division 1 or 2.
And
that's not Wales anymore.
And that is actually a huge thing. And that's kind of what I was angling this interview to towards, and I'm glad you kind of steered it in that
segue for you,
is that we now see a disparity between divisions. It used to be that the camel's hump of was in October 2019 was Division 3. Now it's Division 1 with over 25% of the entire data collection player base point that you've collected in Division 1.
Mm-hmm. It's
how representative. Just quickly, how representative do you think your data is? I mean, do you think it's? Are you getting 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% of the entire global active community? How do you have any idea how much of a snippet of the global active player base you've got?
So I don't have to catch everybody. I don't have to have everybody to be able to figure out what the bottom is.
No, you don't need everybody to get a rough percentage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, what I'm just kind of trying to think in the back of my head, what type of sample size have you got of the entire player base? Because the larger your sample size, the closer your percentages are going to be to what the global percentages are going to be.
Well, I mean, this is a global thing. I mean, our shards are global, right?
Yeah.
And so there's no difference when you're looking at the numbers. They don't have a separate ranking system for where you are in the world. And there's no priority for any region as far as we know in the rankings. So this is for the global player base. Right? Mm-hmm. So you get so I'm not quite sure I understand exactly what you're asking. I can tell you that I would guess sort of my hand wavy thing back in December was I said, hey, we know it's at least this many players. And I would estimate that we're within probably about 2 to 5K at least in the upper divisions. And there might be more people we're missing in the bottom divisions. Mm-hmm. So hand wave it up to maybe 10K extra people in the bottom divisions. At this point, looking at how steady the numbers have been month to month to month to month to month, I would say we're probably within a couple thousand of what the true bottom would be in sort of divisions 1 to 4. And that we're probably within about 5 to 8K for the bottom divisions.
It still does kind of blow our mind that you're thinking that you're about 10,000 off though, right?
Yeah, so if you add 10,000 to 398,000, right, that would put you at 408,000.
Even if we added the 10,000 there, that's still a much larger number, and kind of tells us that maybe that division needs to be spread out further, because that's Neil, you're the GAC expert here. Yeah, what is the cutoff? 4.7? 4.5? What is it?
4.5. 4.5 and above is Division 1. As soon as you cross that 4.5 million GP threshold, you're into Division 1.
Do you happen to know what the top GP is these days? I think somebody said it was like 9 million or something like that.
There is somebody with 8. I know that there is somebody between 8 and 9 million GP. I think the highest one that I've viewed, and that was just fishing around on SWGOH was around about 8.2 million GP.
If you take a look at Division 2, if I remember correctly, boundary to boundary is about a range of about 750,000 GP.
Yeah, I think Division 2 goes from 3.8 million GP to 4.5.
Mm-hmm. So if you made a number of other divisions that size, we're missing a lot of divisions here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Division 1 jump has been month on month close to 10K.
Mm-hmm.
It's just started to taper off towards, it's been 10K, seems to have been close to 10K steady, and then the last 3 months it's close to 8.
So Neil, I have pulled up SWGOH.gg. There are 3 people that have 9 million GPs.
Oh wow! Yeah, I mean, but that's not that's just 3 people, and those are the only people that are registered to SWG. If you were to go from 4.5 to there, you know, the lion's share is going to be between that 4.5 and say 6. So there's definitely a need for the Division 1 to be broken down.
I'm going to play some calculation here with you, Taliana. I was just how many people this is really going to be how many people are on SWGOH.gg. That's going to be the real question. You know, how many people are actually on this?
Well, and you have to remember as well, GG has been collecting names and numbers since what, 2016?
Exactly.
And so that includes everybody who's quit.
And that was also going to be my point. The fun thing is that, but what would your guesstimate be of the people that have actually been on SWGOH.gg with their accounts?
I would have no idea. I know that if you are doing a territory war and you go to GG in mid-range guild, the majority of players will be on it. If you're doing a casual guild, they'll maybe have like 20 accounts or so. And a lot of the international guilds who aren't super elite just don't bother. It's mostly English language. So I have no idea how that translates out, to be honest.
There are 15,103 pages of accounts that have registered through Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg. There are 25 people per page. That puts it at right close to your number.
378,000, yeah.
575 potential players, and that's only counting people that have registered at one time with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg.
That's interesting. I do wonder how many of those are active players versus people who just checked in once.
This is why you and Sepp need to have a conversation.
Well, I do know that way back when they first introduced relics, I was using GG to pull down numbers for who had relicked and what relic level, you know, what were the first relics to be adopted by the player base. Every month, you know, I sort of mentioned this in the Reddit post. Every month there's something that comes out that makes everybody say the game is dead, everybody's quitting. And every month I look to see, is it smaller? Like, has the game tanked? And so far, you know, to be perfectly honest, I was really surprised a couple of months ago because everyone was kind of depressed about the GLs and the GL farms and the SWGs. And so the mood on Discords was really kind of not so happy. And so then when I got the GA numbers that month, I was like, oh, hey, we're okay. And so it's actually really reassuring to get these numbers every month and say, you know, we're holding steady.
Well, I'm going to promise you that I'm not going to put over right here. I'm not going to put Ermagerd is Swagadying. I promise I'm not going to clickbait title this.
Yes, no, we don't do clickbait titles on the Escape Podcastaways. We don't do clickbait.
So
yes,
it's really reassuring to see that steady march of numbers every month and to realize that new people are playing. It also has made me think about the content they're introducing in different ways. Because you look at the distribution here, and early on we kept saying, where's our endgame content? And then you'd look at the divisions, you'd say, well, the average player is Division 3. And a Division 3 player isn't going to be usually looking for that endgame content yet. That's one thing I'm sad about this Division 1. Because of the GP bloat, we have no idea what the real distribution is now because everybody's crammed into Division 1, and Division 1 doesn't mean endgame anymore.
When you have people that are double the you must be this tall to ride measurement, then that's when you need to take another look at those divisions.
I personally think they need like 4 or 6 more divisions in there. They probably don't want any empty divisions, but they need to get enough extra divisions in there that we have space for growth.
How do people how do people find you? And outside of doing the whole checking the Discord and things like that, how do people get you their info if they're not on Discord? That's going to be the first question.
I haven't really recruited that info outside of Discord. And part of that is because this requires honesty and self-reporting, I've tended to work within somewhat smaller communities so that I didn't have to worry about trolls.
Mm-hmm.
By working with known communities, I've kind of had a self-contained group for that. I thought about posting the forum to Reddit, and everyone was like, "Are you crazy?" No.
Do not do that.
And so I have not done anything like that. I've sort of, I sort of do the Discords because there's such a good community of people who really care about the game. And so, I kind of hang out in a number of different Discords. I think people are starting to see me across a number of those. I didn't really start this with a goal of being well known. I just did it because I was curious about the data. Mm-hmm. So, I know that when I share the forum, some people share it to their alliances. I do share it across a number of Discords, although I'm always hesitant to do it because I don't want to be a pest. And I don't want it to be Tally's posting the forums again. But I usually go around, and usually what happens is somebody reminds me that I haven't put the forum up. So I go and I get the forum and I pop it on a bunch of Discords. And then I sort of remind people a couple of times as we go through. And as you said, I've done the Operation Metaverse is one of the big places that I got a lot of it. This is where the project actually started. It actually started by me asking people on Metaverse what their ranking was. HSTR project, the Planet Coruscant, the data chat channel is marvelous for people who like data. And that's where they sort of helped me refine my methods.
Formerly of the U-All group.
And, I posted on the CAM server. I posted on Clash's Scoundrels. I posted on my Shard server. I know a number of people post it to their alliances, and it sort of gets out there a little bit that way.
Well, let's say that somebody's listening right now that is a good person. And if you're listening and you're not a good person, plug your ears for a moment. But let's say that somebody is a good person and they want to help you collect this data. How is somebody going to be able to say, "Hey, Taliana, I want to help"? What's the easiest way to do?
Discord, I'm sorry.
That's fine. But what,
I don't have a resonance in another way, in any other sort of systems, really.
Would you be willing to stick around the Escape Podcast's Discord?
Sure, I could do that, and I could pop you the link every month if you're interested in that, and I could post you the results. I do try and go back and post the results to every server that I post the link to.
We would love to see that. Well, Taliana, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Keep an eye out on our Discord. We will highlight when she posts the form for everybody to fill out. The anything that she posts, we will absolutely try and highlight and give a little bit of a nudge for you guys to help out. Those are loyal listeners. You guys are great. Let's make these data points speak for themselves. That's all we're going to say.
I usually say there's the data and there's my opinion. You might not like my opinion. It might be wrong. It easily could be. It's an opinion. But I'd love to hear other interpretations because I learn things from people who tell me what they see in that data.
All right. Well, guys, if you're watching this on the main show in the condensed version, check out the full interview with Taliana on the Escape Podcast YouTube channel. And if you're watching this condensed version, we'll be right back after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
the Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod Cast for Kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Podawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at our final week of Faction Facts. We've spent the last many weeks traveling across the galaxy talking about different factions and characters, leadership abilities, where you can farm characters in the game. We've talked about uses for different teams. We've talked about counters for teams. It has been a fun ride, and I have truly enjoyed it. This week, I bring you our final faction, one that is loved by many across the galaxy, including the one and only Urzatron, and that is the Tusken faction. So first up is Tusken Raider. You can find him on Darkside Hardnode 6C and in the Galactic War Store. Tusken Shaman is available in the Fleet Store and in the Guild Store. Last but certainly not least is Aurora, who is available on Lightside Hardnode 5A and Lightside Hardnode 5F. Now, the only one of these three with a leadership ability is Aurora. His leadership, Tusken Chief, grants Tusken allies 55 defense, and all other allies gain half that amount. Now, this is a cult-loved faction. There are not a whole lot of uses for them in the game, so I highly recommend staying away from them if you're a new player. If you're an endgame player and you're not currently chasing a Galactic Legend or General Anakin Skywalker, you can go ahead and put your resources into this team. They're a fun team to play with, but like I said, if you're new, stay away. Now, as I mentioned, this is the last week of Faction Facts, so next week we will be starting a brand new series. It's called Journey Through the Journey Guide. I will be going through each and every event in the Journey Guide, and I will be explaining what teams you need, strategy for the event, what you can do to help, beat the event as quickly and efficiently as possible, and I will also be talking about the events in the order that I suggest you farm the characters and unlock them. So it's going to be all of the legendary events, I'll talk about the ship events, I'll talk about everything that's in the Journey Guide, and give you all of the information that you need to know to be able to work your way through and get all of these legendary and exclusive characters. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids.
This is MacLeod, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know MacLeod Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, MacLeod will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. MacLeod has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact MacLeod today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MacLeodmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse MacLeod Modding Mayhem, and you will too. MacLeod Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's incoming transmission time, and it's the guest that we've been telling you about, but, you know, it wouldn't be a proper incoming transmission without, you know, some bigging up for Paul. You're not allowed to give him the title of best hair in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes anymore, though. So, over to the MC. Go.
All right. Well, this is one thing that I can get right in the during the live show. Ladies and gentlemen, you know this guy from Gridan WWL on Twitch. He is a very, very good friend of this show. He is a awesome person, half Grid, half Dan. It is Gridan. And ladies and gentlemen, we do also want to see if Gridan will end up taking a genetic test, because we believe that he is also Llama's sister. Go check out the Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed edition of the Escape Podcast on YouTube. You will see Llama, Gridan, Llama. They're very, very similar in perfect hair. So, ladies and gentlemen, hot off of his placing in the Call of Duty Warzone, right?
Yep.
Warzone tournaments. Ladies and gentlemen, Gridan, we with lives.
What's up, guys? Nev, Paul, thanks for having me back, you guys. It's always awesome to be on here. As you said, fantastic. Great fan of the show. Great friend of you guys. I love being on here as much as I can. So thanks for having me back, you guys.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
We will always. Well, you say you want to come on the show, we will gladly get you on the show. Now, before we get into the question that Nev wants to ask you about, I do want to touch on what I said in the intro. You have, we talked to you just after you went full time.
The
first question is, how the heck is that going?
Still going fantastic. Still going really well. The community, again, has been incredibly supportive. Other content creators have been incredibly supportive. It has progressed enough that it's not just a full-time job by necessity because of my last workplace, but it's something that I can pursue now and reinvest in, and the money is coming back out. It's turned into this kind of cycle now. So it's been really, really awesome. I've enjoyed every second of it. I love, I can wake up and I go and I do my streams. I make my videos. I contact, other content creators, other people, and we make collaboration videos, work stuff out and this and that, just like now. And it's amazing. It really is a dream doing this. So I'm just having the time of my life. It's been 6 months now, actually. So it's been an amazing 6 months. Actually, I think to the day. I think someone hit their 6-month anniversary on at least on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, we just hit our 6 month.
Yeah, we just had our 6 months as well.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, so it's right around there. So about 6 months, and it's just been an amazing 6 months. It's been an awesome time.
Zaz, our really good friend, says he's on audio only right now because he's at work and he can hear your hair. So tell us, what the heck have you been doing? You've been winning tournaments? What is this?
Yeah, so as much as I love Star Wars, I've always had I've always just loved video games. Video games have always been my thing ever since I was like, I mean, genuinely back on like Super Nintendo, NES stuff, right? Like this is way back since I was as early as probably like 7, 8. I've been playing video games. And I've always had a soft spot for first person shooters. And I've always had it just being, totally just upfront about it is I've always had an ability with first person shooters. I've always just kind of connected with them. I don't know if it's just reflexes or what, but first person shooters and me have always kind of gone well together. I enjoy them. I find them fun. I like looking for the strategy in them, not just the run and gun and shoot and kill people, but the strategy in it to make it work as well. And so even though I'm primarily a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Star Wars content creator, I've started to do Call of Duty on the side again because they brought back Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, the way that the Call of Duties went is like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2, and then 3. And then they took this really weird loop towards like Infinite War, some other weird like space stuff, and it wasn't my jazz. I didn't like it. When they brought it back to Warzone, I was like, okay, all right. Started playing it, really enjoyed it, did really well. Contacted a couple people and said, hey, do you guys want to try and do like maybe a tournament? And our first one was about a month ago, and we took top 50. I mean, for a first tournament ever, I'll take it. Made some roster changes, and then next tournament.
Made some roster changes. In other words, cut the dead weight.
Cut the dead weight. No, it wasn't cutting the dead weight. It really wasn't. It was just a completely different play style. Like going into the first tournament, I was like, we do well enough. Let's see how it goes. And it didn't go. And our play style is just different. You're still learning more about yourself as a player, as a team player. And so I found myself another team, and we worked together and we did really well. And that was our second tournament. We took 4th out of about 300 people. And then, took 4th on that one. And then the following tournament is when we placed. We took 3rd place on that one, which means we earned money and we're officially a tournament team. Like we actually made money off of it, which was really exciting.
What do you remember? Oh, sorry, go on, Paul.
So what's your team name, Grid?
OTG.
Off the grid?
Off the grid. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I do remember you talking. I was watching you on your stream when you were talking about finishing 4th. And I've played in poker tournaments, and finishing on the bubble, it's the worst place.
It's so painful.
People say, at least you didn't finish last. It's like, if I finished last, I'm not disappointed. I'm a million miles away from the cash prizes.
So far away, you
but
don't care.
Finishing on the bubble, it's the worst place in any tournament. In a tournament where you can win prizes, money prizes, finishing on the bubble, it's the worst place to finish because it's like you've got so far and all you had to do was place one position higher for some moolah, and you just don't get it.
And that so in 4th place, so the way that it works is called a kill race. So basically what you do is you have 3 set hours, and during those 3 hours you play as many matches as you possibly can. And it's a point system based off of how many kills you get and what places you take in the match. And so it's 1 point for 1 kill. And then it kind of goes incremental with taking 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. And you get like 15 points and 10 points. So it's kind of a lump sum if you place. Mm-hmm. 1st place got 186 points. 2nd place got 177. 3rd got 176, and we took 4th with 174. So we were talking 3 kills at any point in 3 hours, and we would have placed. And so you hyper analyze everything. You're like, I could have gotten a kill here. I could have gotten a kill here. If we placed 1 rank higher in any match, we would have, you just sit there eating yourself up because just like you're saying,
kill to death ratio. So if you also would not have died at a certain point.
Oh, just kills, just straight kills. Yeah. So even if we got absolutely mollywopped, if I took one person down with me, just suicided someone, like
I do that all the time and capture the flag. Somebody gets near me, they throw a grenade. I'm picking up the grenade, running at them. Well, so it works.
I'm taking you down with me. That's excellent. Yeah. So on the bubble, that hurt. But at the same time, that was my second tournament ever for Warzone and my first tournament ever with that team. So the fact that we did that well was really exciting. And then the following week we came back and we took third. So it felt really, really good. Really good to do that.
Excellent. So you'll be first soon then?
Yes. We're hoping we have another tournament tomorrow. It's every Saturday that we're planning on doing them. So we're shooting for it tomorrow as well. Same game or same company, same tournament.
What time?
That'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's 3 hours long, so 7 to 10 Eastern.
Do you stream this live, or do you put it on delay?
Nope, I stream it live. That's actually one of the rules of the tournament is you have to stream it. The tournament they watch over as people are playing, but they also look back on the VODs to make sure no one's cheating or anything like that. So it'll be streamed live tomorrow, 7 p.m. on my channel on Twitch.
No, that's like the GA Center loop, the GA Center rules. You've got to post it or you've got to stream it so that people can't come to us and say, how do you know that your competitors aren't streaming? It's like because they post or stream their GAC. So streaming and posting makes perfect sense to me because then people, if someone says, oh, I think that they were cheating, it's like, well, go and watch their stream. You can see if they're cheating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
exactly.
That leads in, Neil, to you wanted to have Gridan on as well to talk to him about something about GAC. What could that be?
Well, everybody knows, right? And Gridan knows this, that GAC is the best part of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right?
100%.
Exactly. Yep. Now, obviously, the GA Center does a show about content creators, specifically content creators and their GAC streams. But you came up with an idea the other day regarding tournaments. So what's the concept? When did you come up with it? And when are we going to have a really nice long Zoom conference call so that we can talk about, making it a reality?
Yes. So the idea behind it actually came from a little bit of doing the Warzone tournaments. I'm not going to lie. A little bit of it was this idea of getting the community together. So basically what it is, you guys, is a community GAC bracket style tournament. So the idea behind it is I'll split it up per division. So we got division 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. If we need to split it up more, so we might, just like how you guys split division 1 between like a kind of top and bottom division 1. I think that's totally fair because really division 1 needs to be split. Like CG, seriously.
As we've said, and as people will hear in the produced version of the podcast.
Preach.
Yeah. Desperately needs to be split. So I'll probably end up splitting that. But again, it kind of just depends on how many people are there, how many people are interested. And what we would do is we would assign a bracket, again, based off these divisions, and you would get set up with your opponent. Now, obviously, you can't fight the exact opponent that we're choosing. So, kind of like maybe final or kind of like a football fantasy sort of thing. It's just this bracket of community players, whoever wants to join. And whoever comes out of their match with the higher banners will proceed in the bracket. So if we have, Nev versus Paul ends up with 1,900 banners and Nev ends up with 1,895, Paul would advance. Yes. And then Paul goes up against Joe Schmo over there.
So
and then
purely banners.
Yeah, purely banners. That's the idea right now. It's just purely banners.
I could set lunkers for this. If all I care about is Gridan's tournament, I could set lunkers on defense and go hardcore on offense and do better in your tournament, but probably suck it up at GAC.
But possibly absolutely suck it up on GAC. Yep. So it kind of runs the risk. This is still very much in a kind of brainstorming mode. So if we want to rock it, say, banners versus wins versus losses versus, or maybe just assign points, like you get X amount of points for a win. You get X amount of points for a battle won. You get X amount of points, for the banners. I might end up doing something kind of like that, a little bit more specific.
So if you're doing that has been done already through The Wednesday crew. I don't know if they're still doing it. I haven't seen much out of it, but doing a fantasy football stats scoring in that manner has been. So if you're doing banners, that's not
because
bad.
If you were to go with banners would be better, because then you can get through a tournament in a few hours.
Yeah, it's
because
just straight
if you've
up
got two people against
more.
each other, and the aim is to get as many banners as possible, then you're going to be asking people to put themselves in the pool, and then you're going to match them. They're going to set their defenses so that they can get maximum amount of banners. So you're preemptively putting people into a pool, and they are just thinking, right, okay, I'm putting trash on defense. I'm keeping all my toys for offense because I want the maximum amount of banners.
You want to go for maximum banners.
Now, that can play to a person's advantage or disadvantage. I mean, if you've got two people and one is up against trash and somebody else is up against a solid defense, it's still going to be close. But obviously, one person is going to have it. But that's where the luck of the draw kicks in.
Luck of the draw kicks in.
And after you could, once you've got a champion, then it's up to somebody else to knock that champion off the pedestal. So 1 week you have a group of 16 people in a Division 1 tournament, and then the next day you can do a Division 2, and so on and so forth. So every week there's always somebody that's the current champion. And then they go back in again with maybe a pool of 15 other. I mean, this is why we need to sit down and brainstorm. There are so many wonderful possibilities for you to create a 2 to 3 hour long show that people just sit and just watch other people plow through their opponents trying to get as many banners as possible.
So that's another idea where I thought it would be kind of fun, is because if at all possible, it's just an idea that's crossed my mind. If there was any way to get some of these contenders to either be able to stream their stuff or go onto a Zoom call and like screen share it or something, I think it would be super fun to be able to kind of bounce around these streams and commentate on what's going on.
Cohen style.
Yeah, and so you got Joe over here. All right, Joe's going in. He's sitting at 1,900 banners right now. He needs this win in order to beat his opponent, David over there, who has 1,910. This is coming. Like, it would be really fun to commentate on it as well.
Oh yeah, no, we've been. I mean, me and Paul and Flair, we've wanted to have our competitors in GA Center go up against each other so that we can do that. And we've had a couple of occasions.
Yes.
The two occasions where it's happened, one party has not been able to stream. So before Micaeus wasn't able to stream, and the next time it happened was with good old Maurice, but good old Maurice couldn't stream, and we've got the opportunity at the moment with Whatever and with Wigsy, and it does look like they are gonna meet each other in round 3. So we're kind of hoping that they'll be able to stream. But even if they can't stream, you could say, well, look, play it on your tablet, do a Zoom call on your phone and flip your camera, and then you put you just put a couple of windows up so everybody can see them, and then it's like, on your marks, get set, go, and then you've got a couple of people commentate. You got a couple of people commentating. And it's like, oh my god, he's just cleared territory number 1. Oh my god, he's absolutely flying. He's just solo territory 1. Oh, so he's behind, but he's got more banners. And then one person finishes, and it's all down to the last battle. So-and-so needs 70. So-and-so needs 68. Can he do it? Can he get the 60? And then they finish, and you've got a final banner score, and it's like, right, okay, there's the winner. You go through the next round, and then you take a 5-minute break while you talk about how awesome the battle was and how quick the race was to the banner, and then you start up with the next one, and you have 2 columns, 8 on one side, 8 on the other, and you just blast through them until you get to the final, and then you've got your winner, and you have a Div 1 winner and a Div 1 champion, Div 2 champion. Because here's the thing, even though everybody that's in GAC, the GA Center one, they're all playing their mains, I guarantee you that every single person we do on GA Center has an alt.
Myself,
and that's what. Because everybody that does GA Center is going to want in on this. I will want in on this, but I won't be doing my main because I'm trying to put together, back to back crowns at the moment. But I do have a Div 3 alt, and I do have a Div 4 alt, and I have a Div 6 alt. So
I think it would just be fun, and then you'll come out, you'll have someone who ends up being the champion. We would go with, I think it would be a tier 2-4. I think we'd want. See how many people. Yeah, if we did 8 people per division, because then you'd start with the 2 on the side.
So you'd have quarterfinal, semi-final, final.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So then you'd come out with a Division 1, a Division 2 champion. And then maybe, we could either just start with the champions, or maybe at some point, if it grows enough, we could do like a little, just like a, like a $5-10 like giveaway sort of thing, just for fun or something. But make it something that involves the whole community who's ever interested.
People that don't necessarily stream, people that don't post, but you figure out a way, so that's one of the conditions for being incorporated into the pool is they have to, one way or another, be able to, even if it's just zooming on their phone,
just holding their phone.
So the minimum requirement, that's what you say. Minimum requirement is Darth Cohen style.
Yeah, minimum
requirement is Darth Cohen style. And I mean, here's the thing: exactly. But even if they're not a streamer or a content creator, they might have a YouTube channel and they could stream it on their YouTube channel. And all they have to do is give you the private link so that you can put their video up on one, and then a private link from their, from somebody else, and they can put theirs up, and then you go 3, 2, 1, go, and then blast off, and you have yourself and a couple of other people, in a Zoom call trio at the bottom, so that you can all commentate on what's going on. And it would just be so much fun having a knockout tournament. Like you said, they're not going to be able to play each other, but if you just go for flat out, person with the biggest ban account goes through to the next round.
Just move on through.
No whinging, no moaning, no complaining. Oh, they had a stronger defense. That's the luck of the draw.
That's it.
You roll the dice. Sometimes it's easy.
It won't be always fair.
Exactly.
So we have T-Bone Kelly, who said in the chat, I had the idea of having 3 or 4 teams of content creators where the captains would draft their teams based off the GA center stats and records, and scoring would be just combining all the individuals on each team's stats. This way, viewers could pick a team and bounce around to different teams and cheer for or against other certain people. And that was kind of... What's that?
I said Team Gridan, Team OTG.
Exactly. That's kind of what... that's kind of the same idea that Team Wednesday had. That's kind of the same idea that I had when it initially was getting off the ground, but we handed off to Team Wednesday to run with the ball,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun to be had with the stats, and
I think so.
The fun part is that SWGOH.GG is giving us a lot of these stats. Ever since they started the involvement with GA Center, and finding all these little things, and it's fun. It's absolutely fun.
Yeah,
it would be so awesome. It would be so awesome to have, because we do the league stuff, for there to be a show that does the tournament, that does tournaments.
Yeah,
it's kind of showing. It's kind of like showing CG with our content. We consider this, the most, the most important aspect of the game. This is why we are making shows. We are creating shows. We are creating content based purely around GAC.
Yeah, purely around
it. So put some effort into it. Change up Division 1, but yeah,
please.
If you started doing weekly tournament, and the beauty with yours though is you could literally get just a pool of just fans of the game that don't just regular members of the community, and it's like test your mettle against other people within the community.
Yeah.
So people that we regularly see in chat that play, but we don't see them stream, we don't see them post. It's like, oh, how awesome would it be to see Schnarman go up against Bossman, or for DMK. To go up against Yana or something, just random stuff. Like, it would be so much fun to see the people that we see chatting and that are in the community actually going, trying to go toe to toe again.
Yeah, going head to head.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So curious minds want to know two questions. One from Hellenix that was posted earlier, but I want to know. Somebody told me to ask you this.
Okay.
Have you had Sable start her own account on a tablet and just seeing what happens in the GAC with her tapping the screen with her paw.
I have it, but actually I have it with SWGOH, but I kind of did with Call of Duty. So I have I have the recording. I haven't put it up yet. So you guys are getting the first sort of sneak peek at something that's coming. But a very common thing for professional players in all sorts of video games, right, is to see what their hands are doing with whatever the controller is. If that's mouse and keyboard, if that's an Xbox controller, whatever, right? So they have the camera like looking at them, and then they have a separate camera like right underneath that's specifically just the mouse and keyboard of the controller. So what I did is I'm going to record, or I have part of it, but I'm going to record Sable. I'm just going to have her pause just tapping on the keyboard and like moving around my mouse and like laying on my keyboard. And so while I'm like playing all professional, the little like camera underneath would just so like some cat paws, just like tapping on the keyboard. So that's one that's going, but I haven't done with SWGOH, but that would be really funny. We'll start Sable her own account and just see what sort of happens if we just tap away. Just let her play. I would
love to see it. The other question is very important question. With your Call of Duty tournaments doing so well, and so many of us wishing you continued success, what products do you use on your hair?
That's exactly where I thought that conversation or that question was going. My favorite is it's a product called Ruzel. It's a product from Holland. And it's a gray can. They have all sorts of different colors, but it's a Ruzel pomade. So Ruzel,
Panther, it's illegal in 13 countries.
And if there's a Ruzel representative that happens to be watching this, hit me up. I'll sponsor me, guys. I'll talk about you all day.
There you go. So
I'm sure they're watching.
What do we know about your tournament coming up tomorrow that you're going to be playing? What other things? So you last time we checked in, you were doing Outer Worlds. You completed that, or you gave up on that? I'm not sure what.
I finished it. I massacred every village, and we walked away with the W.
So what is next on the non-Star Wars, and in this case, I'm actually going to say non-Call of Duty. What stuff outside of Star Wars and Call of Duty are you doing on doing off the grid? And you are also, I do want to mention that you have just a YouTube channel where it's all not, you've turned your YouTube channel into just non-Star Wars.
Yes, I have. So I decided, I'm sure you guys have ran across this and you've seen and heard about it, but the YouTube analytics are absolute poop. So if you try and post a video on a separate video game or separate topic than what you normally do, instead of YouTube saying like, oh, you didn't do super well with this video game, it says, oh, your channel sucks. Like, it's so dramatic. So when I would put out a video on Call of Duty or Resident Evil or Outer Worlds, whatever, and it didn't have quite as many views, then my whole channel was like getting bumped down. So it was it just wasn't worth it. So I started a second channel completely dedicated to games outside of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right? So that's just outside of SWGOH. So even like Battlefront or other Star Wars videos would be found there. But that's all things outside of SWGOH. So it's called Gridan Gaming. And that's, completely outside of, that's just any other game. Right now, my current project is Dead Space 2. So we are playing Dead Space 2 in a series called Seals and Squeals.
I was about to say, does everybody get the delights of you screaming like a little girl?
A lot. A lot, dude. I'm not good with horror games. They get me every time. The first one that we played was the Resident Evil 3 remake, which I've never played any Resident Evil like in my... no, that's not true. Sorry. I played Resident Evil 6 for like 30 minutes. But I've never played the Resident Evil series. So when I played Resident Evil 3, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what was going on. And it just scared the bejesus out of me.
It was so funny watching you.
There's so many clips.
So funny.
I just did a search for Gridan Gaming and it comes up with something that's not you. How do I find your YouTube channel?
Uh-oh. All right, hang on. Gridan.
Or if you could send me a link, I'll make sure that it will end up in the description of the podcast and on the YouTube video as well.
There we go. Should I send it? Let's see. I'll do Discord.
Yeah, just throw it in Discord. I'll make sure that it gets into the.
That should take you right to it.
See,
all one word. See, I put a space in between it.
My apologies. Yep,
that
all one word.
That is my fault for using proper English. Damn it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know why you do that. But yeah, so we are continuing on with Seals and Squeals. You guys saw it in Resident Evil. Screamed a lot. Chat betrayed me several times, saying, "No, you're good. Nothing's up there," and I, for whatever reason, believed them, and then just. Monster jumps out of the sewer or something. I just scream my head off. So then we switched over to Dead Space, and Dead Space was the first horror game that I ever played that I actually couldn't play anymore. I played the beta back on Xbox, and we're talking in like 2000 and like whenever it came out, 2009 or something. And I was playing the beta, and I just remember that I killed one of the monsters, and I walked past it. And right, it's kind of a common thing. They jump up if they're not like actually dead, and it jumps up at me and starts eating my face. And I scream. I threw the controller. I jumped onto the ground. Like I actually like audibly out loud screamed at my friend's house. We were playing this together, and I just lost it. And I was like, I'm never ever playing Dead Space. I'm never gonna play that ever. And then obviously it got brought up when we were looking at a new horror game to play, because I played Resident Evil 3 and then Outlast, which Outlast got me super good too. Oh my God, I aged so much playing that freaking game, you guys. I kid you not. That one was so stressful. You can't do anything. You just have a camera. You can either run and hide or die. And you have a little camera with batteries. And oh my God, it's so stressful, dude. It's so stressful. Oh, I hated that one. So barely made it through that. And then Dead Space got voted for the next one. So we finished Dead Space, and I'm on to Dead Space 2. So
there we go.
That's our current off the grid game.
And anything before we let you get back to the wonderful world of car repair?
Of car repair? Oh my goodness, yeah. No, I'm selling my car, yes.
Oh, selling your car.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Selling my
sales.
Car. Yeah, car sales. No, just as always, you guys, like I said at the beginning, it's an immense pleasure coming on here and hanging out with you guys. It's especially a pleasure because like from where I've seen your guys' channel grow as well, and your guys' role and place in the community. As someone who's been involved with the SWGOH community literally since a week after the game came out, right? I joined the forums, I started talking to people, and I made an alliance and everything. And already hearing whispers about you guys for so long, to now be on the channel and to be side by side with you guys talking about stuff and coming up with ideas. It's an immense pleasure, and it's really cool. It's really exciting. You guys are an absolute blast. You guys are crushing it. You guys are killing it. So it's really fun to be a part of the channel with you guys and to work alongside you guys. So just thank you again for having me on.
All right. And also, I promised you this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Anthony. And Gridan is a much better Supreme Leader Kylo Ren player than I am. There you go. So now clip it. And use that on your channel whenever you need to make fun of me, which I'm always game for.
Just in case no one knows in the community, that was our bet. It was a 2-part bet on who could unlock SLKR first, which Paul beat me 100%. He beat me, and I made the clip saying that he was better. And then I unlocked the ultimate first, right? You gear 13 and ultimate, you got him done first. Yes, and then it was reversed that he made a clip for me, which is that one. So we had a blast doing it, and again, that just furthers exactly what I was saying. That it's such a fun part doing stuff like that with you guys. It's just a blast. It's really
there will be more in the very, very near future, from what I understand.
I hope so.
Listen, we'll hit you up. We'll hit you up soon.
Please do. Yep. Yep, let's do. We'll hit me up on Discord and we'll figure out a time that works. Obviously, we got the tournament tomorrow, so I'll be practicing all day for that. But Sunday, we could definitely get together and we could really nail this down and hopefully have it ready for a GAC soon to come.
All right,
get the community involved. If I may, I'm planning on putting that together. Like at the moment right now, I'm working with my moderators to sort of put it all together. Anyone who's interested, please, by all means, reach out to me. Easiest way for sure is on Discord. So please just join up on my Discord, you guys, and you can let me or any of my moderators know. We're trying to get a pool of as many people want to play. And if we need to like make rotations or if we need to expand the brackets or whatever it is. So if anyone's interested, please just DM me or find me on Discord. I'm in basically every server there is. So just find me somewhere on Discord.
You can certainly find him on the Escape Podcast Discord. Yep. Guys, stick around. Coming up after this break and a new Helly and the Noob episode, we will be getting to Patreon's Choice. Feel free to use those channel points to ask a 4-segment question if you're not a Patreon. But if you are, get those questions in. Questions will close soon on that. Stay tuned. More to come right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Maccaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Maccaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Maccaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Maccaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Maccaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase, guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MaccaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Lennox?
Later, Gator.
Lennox?
And Banhammer.
Hey, meatbag.
What, noob?
Lennox, I'm afraid we've picked up
a stowaway.
Whoa. You mind telling us what he's saying, noob? Noob? Don't your translators speak Wookiee?
Lennox.
You know.
I'm programmed to speak Wookiee. That's
not
why I called you here.
I know you know that I don't know how to speak Wookiee, noob. What I'm asking is, why did you call me out here, and why is this particular Wookiee on my ship?
Lennox, this is Ludbaka. He is one of thousands of users you've banned from your Discord
Tens, noob. Tens.
Okay.
Tens of thousands.
No,
Of
Noob,
people you
stop
banned
that.
from one of your Discord servers.
Tens of people, not tens of thousands of people. You ungrateful little glob of grease. Anyway, let's get on with this. Ahem. What's the problem this time, noob? If I ban Mr. Ludbaka here, there was surely a reason.
Ludbaka says he merely posted a photo, which you apparently didn't
Approve of.
on one of your Discord servers. And instead of talking to him about it, you just
Banned him.
Oh, newbie. Most of the time, there's a perfectly legitimate reason why something like this happens. And you know what?
Oh no.
I got
No.
a short PSA that can help you understand, bud.
Again.
This PSA is brought to you by Hellenics. #shameless self-promotion. And the Gaming Embers YouTube channel, Twitch stream, and Discord server. A fun camping ground for all you campers out there. Plus, we f***ing love Flare. Discord etiquette. What is it? Why is it happening? And who stands to benefit? In this SWGOH PSA, we will explore Discord etiquette and the many myths that surround it. Nowadays, most every gaming live streamer has a Discord server meant to help fans connect with their favorite content creator and with other fans in that creator's community. Whether it's SWGOH, Marvel Strike Force, or even City Skylines, every gamer has multiple Discord servers available to them, which can help folks connect, share information, and socialize with each other. Some communities even have multiple dozens of servers, each with their own unique feel, specific tastes, and particular focuses for their members to experience. Regardless of what the particular Discord server aims to provide, there are, most often, some server-specific rules that each user must follow. But for the purposes of this discussion, we will be focusing on the more general expectations found across Discord servers of all kinds. There are certain behaviors everyone deems appropriate, and other behaviors everyone deems inappropriate. Knowing the difference can save everyone a lot of unnecessary aggravation. First and foremost, never use the dreaded everyone tag. This alerts all users to a server-wide response, and unless you want everyone on said server replying to you, usually in an angry tone, you'll want to avoid issuing this command. Next is the vile impersonation attempt. If you think it's funny to pretend to be someone you're not, you're doing it wrong. You should especially avoid pretending to be an administrator of the server, as the real server admins will likely ban your sorry ass for that kind of. Finally, always follow the golden rule of the hood. If you don't start none, there won't be none. Attempting to start or add to any argument on the internet is an exercise in futility. It won't end well, and you will look like a jerk. So before you make a Discord faux pas, consider this. Is what you're about to post within the generally accepted behavioral rules of the server and Discord in general? Because if you know you're about to do something dumb on Discord, you should just follow Michael Jordan's advice.
Stop it. Get some help.
This has been Hellenics. #shameless self-promotion. For the Hellenics SWGOH YouTube channel, and the Gaming Embers YouTube channel, Twitch channel, and Discord server, as well as all the various Discord servers across the globe. So, you think people are getting used to this whole PSA format? Maybe we should mix it up a bit. Here's what I was thinking. Wait. What do you mean you just banned me? The hell do you think you are to ban me? So do you see now, noob? Wasn't that PSA helpful?
Once again.
Lennox, that PSA didn't explain anything. All Ludbaka did was post a picture of his new outfit. And you
burned him
for it.
What are you talking about? I can see his picture. It's uploaded right here. Yeah. It's on the Costumes and Gear channel. Matter of fact, Ludbaka, you're still on the server. You weren't even banned. Wait, let's see here. It looks like he changed his role to new user earlier today, and that limits the number of channels he has access to. Let me fix that for you. All right, just yeah. There, done. Can you see the channels now, Lud dude? Anything else, fellas?
No, I guess not. I'm sorry for the confusion, Lennox.
Meatbag.
Agreed, Ludbaka.
Wait, I thought you didn't
speak Wookiee.
Noob, I don't speak Wookiee, but I do understand it. I mean, who's ever heard of a human being that's able to vocalize the Wookiee language? That's just dumb.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the fourth and final segment of the show where you get to ask us a bunch of questions and you can make them as uncomfortable as you like. But you're lovely people, so you don't do that. So, Paul, let's hit us with the Patreon's choice questions.
Well, the first thing we do want to mention is coming up September 19th. On September 19th, starting right after Grand Arena Championship closes, the attack phase closes for that day, we will start on this channel the Creator Cup, where it is Team Castaways, which includes many people, including the wonderful person right there. And the llama, Fighting Drunk, all the castaways that you've grown to love. Geek Girl, she's in it as well. We're facing off against Team Vasari, which is Vasari Games and Jackson Tucker, DB Official, Rico's in there as well. Trashman Terry. We've got some awesome people that are going to go head to head, team versus team, to see who the best team is. And if it comes down to it in the last hour, it will be Vasari versus me. Sith Lord Fluffy. Yes, thank you, Flair. Sith Lord Fluffy's on Team Vasari. Lots of fun. And then tomorrow, starting at about, well, I'm gonna do my GAC at 4:00 Eastern time. So I'm gonna get that last hour in there, and I'm gonna be going for 24 hours and that's going to be a personal stream to hopefully supplement some of the lost income from not being able to host trivia night at the bars that I normally do on Wednesday nights. But that's okay. We're gonna do a trial run again. This time, hopefully, I'll make it the full 24 hours, Neil. All right. Let's get to the questions. Question number 1 was from Geek Girl. What inanimate object do you wish that you could eliminate from existence? Can't be a animate object, so you can't eliminate fire ants. You can't eliminate murder hornets.
Inanimate object. Sprouts.
They're living beings. So you're talking about you're talking about bean sprouts and stuff.
No, a sprout. It's the worst thing in the world to eat. They're vile. They're horrible, disgusting. I wish that they never existed.
But it's organic. What item?
It's still an inanimate object. It requires a human to do something with it in order for it to do something. You know, whether you're eating
it's those Dart emery boards.
No, there's nothing wrong with them. I have one. I do my nails with it.
Oh, please, no, don't do it now. No, stop that. It hurts my teeth. Stop that. All right. What is the weirdest thing you have ever seen in someone's home? Neil's emery board.
I would say the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a person's house was I saw an old Russian hammer and sickle flag in a person that wasn't a communist's house, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, oh yeah, I went to the Soviet Union on holiday and I was able to get this flag. I'm like, still weird, mate. You know, seriously, dude, that flag, just, you know. So yeah,
what would be the absolute worst name you could give your child?
Bob. Calling your daughter Bob.
A boy named Sue. I can't answer that one, honestly. No, I can actually answer that one. The person who named their child A, B, C, D, E and insisted that it was called Absidy. What is the worst thing for the government to make illegal?
Sex. I mean, they can make it illegal. Everybody would ignore it, just like, you know, people ignore like all the other laws as well. So making something illegal doesn't just amazingly stop people from doing it all of a sudden.
How about a tongue-in-cheek say voting by mail? What are some of the nicknames you have for customers or coworkers? Oh,
what?
Some of my coworkers watch this show. I don't know if I could answer that.
I mean, I have referred to, some co-workers in previous lives as, dickhead or tosser.
For what?
Okay, I will say this: in the army, we have lots of nicknames. Okay, so
some we can't say here.
So, no. Yeah, we can say them. So, so I was in the army with someone whose surname was Day. He was called, I don't even know what his first name was. He was Sig Day. So he was forever known as Doris. That was his nickname for the rest of his life because his second name was Day. Okay? Anybody that has a surname that is Parton is instantly nicknamed Dolly. Okay? Scottish people instantly called Jock. People from Liverpool instantly called Scouse. The army is just 90% of the people you'll ever meet that are either military or ex-British military will refer to themselves by whatever nickname they were given while they were in the army. My first name is Neil, but everybody calls me Nev. That's the nickname that was given to me when I was in the army. I turned up at my first unit in Cyprus, and my roommate said, "You don't look like a Neil, you look like a Neville." And Nev is short for Neville, and that was it. It just stuck forever.
All right, let's go ahead and finish out Geek Girl's questions. She also asked, what's your favorite Star Wars fan theory?
That Jar Jar Binks was the overlord, the Dark Sith that was running everything during the prequel trilogy. That's my favorite one.
Don't mention Darth Jar Jar.
It's Darth Jar Jar. It's my favorite fan theory.
That was going to be my answer, was everything except for Darth Jar Jar, to be honest with you.
My favorite fan theory.
All right. Let's get to Andy Beads'
question. All right, fine. I'll give you another one. Okay. The other one is that Luke Skywalker is really Luke Skywalker. That Mara Jade did not kill the clone Luke Skywalker, but killed the real Luke Skywalker, and that the Luke Skywalker that you think is the real one walking around in all of the extended universe afterwards is actually the clone of Luke Skywalker. There you go.
All right. Andy Beads' question, what instrument would you rather use? Spoons, the triangle, or a kazoo? Spoons. Kazoo for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, the spoons are awesome. Let's see. Andy Beads did not have any other ones. Flair asks, if you have to have a pet mascot, not a robot. Sorry, newbie. Screw you, Flair. What would it be? Al the Canadian Moose is not an option.
Tasmanian Devil.
See, I would like to hearken back to the days of Spuds McKenzie and just have a dog that had just happened to have a spot on its side that looked like an escape pod. That'd be awesome. Where would y'all's dream vacation?
Maldives.
For me, it would be going back to Key West. I loved Key West. I think I've mentioned that before. We're going to go to JJ Manners, and then we'll go to Zazie McBeal. JJ Manners asked, what classic movie have you never watched?
Gone with the Wind.
I've never watched Casablanca.
I've never watched that one either.
All right. Zazie McBeal asks, what is your favorite dessert to have when you eat out?
I would go with a chocolate fudge sundae. If they do a chocolate fudge sundae, I'm ordering it. If it's on the menu, I'm having it.
For me, it would just be soft serve ice cream. Not a sundae, just soft serve ice cream in a cone. I'm simple. I'm simple like that. And if you could cosplay as an Imperial Trooper, what type of trooper would you choose?
Probably a Death Trooper, because, they're badass, aren't they? Yeah.
You
Death
really
Trooper.
didn't see them do much. They just stood next to Krennic.
They just look, silent and deadly. Exactly. Not clumsy and always getting shot like stormtroopers. I mean,
See, I liked the TIE pilots. I thought the mask of the TIE pilot looked really cool, so I would be a TIE pilot. So, I don't see any other questions on there. I don't see any other questions in Patreon's choice. So,
Citizen Kane sucked.
What's that?
Lennox is going Rosebud for me. And I'm saying, don't bother. It sucks. People keep going about it being a great movie. It's not. It really, really sucks. It's boring as hell. Okay? It's really, really bad. Orson Welles. Don't get me wrong. Orson Welles, War of the Worlds, incredible. But Citizen Kane, oh my God. What a dumb, boring movie.
Zaz says the correct answer was Scout Trooper and have Baby Yoda in a bag. All right. We are going to wrap it up. If you're watching us live on Twitch, we are going to raid into Deadpool Kyle. He's doing part of the GAC chain gang right now. We're going to raid into him after this, after we go off the air. If you're a Patreon, then please go check out our after show. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, and I'll fire up the poker table.
And Neil will fire up a poker table for you guys as well. So we really appreciate each and every single one of you. Tomorrow, 24-hour stream. Would love to see you there. All that I ask is that you stop by, say hi, and keep me awake. That's all I ask. But, be nice to each other, damn it. Protect those that you love. Wear a mask when in public. Just, please. We love each and every single one of you. We're rating Deadpool Kyle after this, so stick around if you're watching live on Twitch. And thank you very much, JJ Manners, for the gift sub to finish out the night. We'll see you guys next time right here on the Escape Pod cast.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pod. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2,
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.